Welcome to another Artful Geek Girl Supply Stash review. Today I'm going to review the Cable Knit Embossing Folder by Stampin' Up. This is a dynamic textured impressions embossing folder, meaning that you get a much deeper and much more textured effect. You notice the difference right away when you take the folder out because it's a much thicker plastic. And the impressions inside are much higher, so you can already see and feel the difference in the folder when you first take it out of the packaging. Now you can see that I'm just using a Sizzix Big Shot. It's a very old Big Shot. You can see it's kind of nasty and dirty. I need to clean it up, but in order to use this embossing folder you're going to need the standard base and one of your cutting plates. Then I have just taken a 80-pound cardstock, white cardstock, and the Stampin' Up! Instructions tell you to spritz your cardstock with some water. So in this first example, that's what I did. I spritzed it with some water, just really lightly, just to make it a little bit damp. And then always put that folded edge of your embossing folder in first. And simply run it through. And when I did this, it doesn't feel like there's a whole lot of resistance, but I was shocked at the result. When I opened this up, look at that. Look at how deep those impressions are. And it's amazing. It's so pretty. I love this cable knit texture. I think it's amazing, and I can see tons and tons of uses for it, which is exactly why I purchased it. Next, I am going to do this without the spritz of water. So I'm just going to take that same 80-pound white cardstock and I'm going to put it in there without doing any water spritzing to see if there's a difference in how this impression comes out. And I'm just going to run it through the Big Shot again and pull it out. And as you can see, it still has a really deep impression. There is a slight difference. It's not really easy to see here on the camera. The one that I did with the water does seem to be just a little bit deeper perhaps, but really not that noticeable. When you have it on a card, as you'll see later on, it's really not a noticeable difference. So it's up to you whether you use the spritz of water or use the cardstock dry. And then I just wanted to show you what it looks like on colored cardstock. So I just took another lightweight green cardstock that I had just so that you could see what this looks like when you use it with color. It's still so gorgeous. I just love this. I love a cable knit sweater anyways. Here I am up in the wintry north of Maine where we're currently sitting at a balmy 3 degrees. So cable knit sweaters are a necessity here, and I just love the look of them. So as you can see, I've put together a couple of cards with the textured impressions. One was with the water, one without. You couldn't tell. And this one I ran through with one of my stitched Simon Says Sam stitched rectangle dies, and it did flatten it a little bit, but I think it's such an elegant and beautiful look for holiday cards or for anything. So there it is. I give a glowing review to the Stampin' Up! Cable Knit Embossing Folder.